Thanks for checking out Scotties Hobbies. Today I'm going to give you some tips on reinstalling your fuel filter on a 2004 to 2010 6.6 liter Duramax diesel. Chevys, GMCs, Cadillacs if they're out there, the express vans, everything. This is going to be for the 6.6 liter diesel for all of those vehicles. When you reinstall the fuel filter, you got to bleed the air out and reset the light up on the dash. I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. First, before you go too far, and while we're watching this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Tell everybody about Scotties Hobbies. I have a ton of helpful videos on a ton of vehicles out there, so make sure you check out the video library as well. On this 2005 Duramax, this is my pop's truck right here. He brought it over. I changed the fuel filter for him all the time. I should say every time. But that's only been twice in, say, maybe 15 years. That's how much this truck does not get given. He always just follows the dash. Whenever that light comes on to say to replace the fuel filter, he gets it done. So this is reinstalling it. To get to the fuel filter, the best way is to go through the passenger side fender well, take off that inner liner, and right there you have the fuel filter. When you remove the fuel filter, you got to be careful of the water and fuel system sensor at the bottom side of this fuel filter. So you got to disconnect that, usually use a band wrench, slide it around it to get that filter nice and loose so you could just take it off with your hands, remove it with your hands. Make sure the vehicle is off, nobody's in the cabin to turn the key into the on position or anything like that while you're doing this job. So now that we have the old fuel filter off, we're going to install the new one, and that's where I'm picking up right here. This is installing the new fuel filter. I would really recommend replacing the water and fuel sensor at the bottom pretty much every time you do this job because they're so cheap out there. It's just worth replacing. I noticed when we were reinstalling this one, the wires coming out of the bottom, you could see a little bit of bare wire. So I went ahead and ordered a new sensor to install, which is going to be a pain in the butt because I'm going to have to do this job twice in probably 2 months. So it would be a lot easier if you just get everything together, just replace both pieces at the same time every time you do the fuel filter. There will be links in the description below to purchase the fuel filter and sensor as well. So now that we have the fuel filter on, we have the water and fuel sensor plugged in, go ahead and start the truck. But what happens? The truck does not start. So what needs to be done from here is to bleed the air out of the fuel system. On the top side of the fuel filter housing, you have a little black plastic screw. That's actually your bleed screw. I did notice when I ordered the sensor for this fuel filter, they do have some metal screws to replace this plastic one with, which I did order as well. There will be links in the description for that part too. I would recommend replacing it with a brass one or some type of metal one when you replace all this. So there's 3 things you're going to need: the sensor on the bottom of the filter itself, and the bleeder screw. To loosen the air bleeder screw on this fuel filter housing, I used a 13mm 6-point, or you could use a flathead screwdriver. Loosen this screw up, make it so it's just sitting there on top. Any air could escape. I wouldn't remove the screw all the way just so fuel doesn't fly up and get in your face. Now that the screw is loose, air is able to escape, we're going to pump the little pump right here next to the bleeder. This will actually remove the air out of the system. So just pump this until you get a lot of fuel, you get no air coming out of that little bleeder screw. And I like, while I'm pumping on it, to tighten the screw so I make sure I don't get any air into the fuel system. Go over and try to start the vehicle. If the vehicle starts right up, it might take a couple extra cranks compared to normal starting, but if it starts right up, I would turn it off, let it set maybe 30 seconds, a minute, and try it again. See if the starting gets easier. If it continues to have a hard starting issue, go back and bleed the air out of it again. Just make sure you have all of the air out of the system. Make sure you don't have any leaks or anything like that, and you should be good to go. On my dad's truck right here, I actually did have to bleed it out twice. I thought I got all the air out of it, but it took a minute to start the truck, and we tried it twice, and it did the same thing. So I went back, loosened it up, pumped it some more, and I did get some more air out of it. So you might want to just make sure you got all of it out of it. And if it doesn't start the first time, or it's a little hard starting the first time, try again. You'll be fine. Don't worry. It's pretty easy. Now, when you get all of the air out of the fuel system, the truck is starting up just fine. It feels like you're going to be good to go. Obviously, get everything put back together under the hood, the inner fender liner, get all that put back together. Make sure you didn't mess anything else up. You didn't bend it, you didn't break anything while you're in there. Now let's go over and get in the cabin. On this vehicle, to reset the fuel filter maintenance reminder light or indicator on the dash, what you do is put the key into the on position and hold the brake pedal and the gas pedal at the same time, I believe for about 30 seconds or a minute or so. It will say fuel filter life reset or something like that up on the dash. So again, Turn the key to the on position, hold both feet on both pedals, hopefully you have both feet. Hold both pedals down at the same time and it should reset the light. If you have a problem with resetting the light on your vehicle, let me know, comment below, and I'll try to figure out the proper procedure on resetting the maintenance light on your vehicle if it is any different, or if it's the same, I'm going to tell you to go out and try it again. If this video did help you out, make sure you comment below with the year, the make, model of the vehicle that it did help you on so other people will know that this will work for their vehicle as well. This should cover the 2001 to 2016 D-Max's 6.6 liter, and hopefully this video did help you out. I know there's a ton of other videos out there that could show you this, but hopefully my video stood out a little bit different and you got the knowledge that you needed to get this job done. Thanks for checking out Scotties Hobbies. Make sure you check out the video library, and I will see you guys on the next hopefully helpful video.